So here's a fun question. What's the first thing you do when you head into the Fortnite locker? Do you pick up a cool skin, click on a funny emote, put on a gun wrap? I bet the first thing you don't do is check out all the loading screens. They're probably one of the most underappreciated aspects of Fortnite cosmetics. I mean, it's the very first thing you see upon loading into a game. I feel like Fortnite's art team doesn't get enough appreciation for the work they put into these screens. They can either hype you up for the upcoming battle or give insight into the personality of these skins. Today I thought I'd go over some of my favorite Fortnite loading screens that go unreasonably, undeniably hard. This video was inspired by YouTuber Pancreas No Work talking about Warhammer artwork, as well as Esper the Bard's videos on old D&D art. Most of these screens are the ones that I own, while others I'm jealous that I don't own because of how sick they are. With that being said, let's jump into it. Fortnite loading screens have a long standing in the game's history since the beginning. Before Epic started hiring these artists, they mostly did their loading screens in-house, so some of them don't have any credits, and to be honest, I think most of the 3D screens are kinda mediocre. The later ones look fine, as Fortnite would later develop their artistic vision and make its art style look more presentable, thank god, but to me, most of them just don't have that kind of artistic punch, that visual dog that hypes you up for the next matchup, so you won't be seeing a lot of those here. Chapter 2 Season 5 was the first time I ever actually grinded out the Battle Pass, and that was mainly because of the Mancake skin. He was the first skin I ever worked my ass off for, and started playing Fortnite daily because I just thought he looked cool, and I still think he looks cool, especially with the mustache and hat edit. This first loading screen is titled Stack 'em High, and does not have a credited artist. Despite that though, I still think this piece is sick in its own way. It looks like what you would see plastered onto a studio building in Hollywood, or one of those movie advertising billboards. The little grains on the edges and the fold in the middle gives this piece some spaghetti western authenticity, and I find myself using this piece every time I play Mancake. That being said, Mancake is far from the coolest food-themed skin I have in my arsenal. No, that honor goes to Gumball, one of my favorite skins in the whole game that isn't Fabio Sparklemane. He's like if Benson from Regular Show was a character in the Friday Night Funkin' mod, and like Fabio, he has an unquenchable addiction to devouring sentient gummies like if Godzilla was in Candyland. This guy's got 2 loading screens dedicated to him, all depicting him happily genociding the little gummies like a panel from I Hate Fairyland. The first one is fine, it's standard comic-y fare, but this piece, Munchie Mayhem, is absolutely nuts. This piece was drawn by Brock Hofer, and my god, just look at this. Looking at his portfolio, Hofer seems to specialize in creating these hyper-detailed, vivid, and splashy pieces that look like something you'd find at a trippy Adult Swim bumper. It's so gory even by Fortnite standards, it's actually hilarious to think how Epic approved this. Not like that's a bad thing, of course, I just think that's really funny. Just take in all that immaculately delicious detail. The intricate lines in Gumbo's mouth, the jagged, almost shark-like teeth, the fact that his Turner thingy on his chest also has teeth, the vibrant gummies running away as Gumbo eats and beats them into a vibrant bloody paste, all set to a subdued background that complements the gummy pinks and blues. If I was a kid playing Fortnite and saw this image, I'd likely be traumatized. It's like I'm looking at one of those close-up frames from SpongeBob. It's colorful, it's terrifying, it's Gumbo guarantee. If Epic does an OG Chapter 3, they should use this version of Gumbo. Mix them up with the Grizz or the Sun skin, and you might have a recipe for something that goes incredibly harder. Speaking of Chapter 3, we can't mention Chapter 3 without bringing up Meow Skulls. And it's not because I'm a furry, I just think she's neat, alright? When I first saw her, I thought she was Kit all grown up and into her emo phase, which I thought would be funny. But nah, she's just her aunt, and looks like the character you smoke weed with and drink diet soda while playing Burnout Revenge for the PS2. Her loading screen was done by Jim Matfoot, and it has chill vibes all over. I'm surprised they didn't put her in the vibing season before. She would have been a great fit. The sketchy art style mixed with the dull colors really gives this a calming vibe, makes the piece pop. You got the stick that you can only imagine the function of, the pink foreground fish, and Meowscles who looks like he's gonna do all the dirty work himself. This is definitely a piece that deserves a shout out. Going back to Chapter 2, another skin I worked my ass off for is Charlotte. Was it because I think she's hot? Maybe. But also because her spiritual Japanese green aesthetic was really neat, and Heart Pounder by Mitsumi is an explosion of Japanese iconography and color. If I had a reason to say why Charlotte is my favorite skin other than she's hot, I would just use this image. The slash on the screen that signals the 2 halves of her form, the Japanese iconography exploding onto the screen. There's this thing. I don't know what that is, but he looks fine to be there. This image just screams Japanese underground punk, and it's enough to melt any weeaboo's heart. But you know, sometimes you just want to play Fortnite with your favorite character from your favorite franchise, and I think everyone agrees that Fortnite loading screens are at their peak when they're doing them for collabs. 2 of my favorites from Marvel belong to Carnage and Doctor Strange. The Carnage piece was done by Tyler Kirkham, and it just exudes menace and power. And by looking at it, I get sad knowing that Venom didn't get a loading screen for some reason. The Doctor Strange one was made by Trad Moore, and it has these trippy, webby visuals that make it seem like the Doctor's tapping into the Eldritch to use his spells. I can already picture the sensory music from Psychonauts 2 playing just by looking at this. Aside from Marvel, other cool collab skins have to go to Invincible, Alien, and the Predator. This Invincible piece done by Ryan Otley gives an incredible vibe of heroism. All the characters flying off the battle buses like they're all ready to save the day. At least I think Omni-Man is helping out. I haven't read the Invincible comics. The Alien one is probably the only 3D render in this video. It feels perfectly in line with the atmosphere of the Alien movies, and the blue slurp adds a nice touch to this piece. The Predator one, though, is a great use of the Predator's infrared vision, making the piece pop out more. The intimidating pose the Predator gives off adds the sense of unease to his character, almost like he's emerging from the darkness as he aims to shoot at Peely. And of course, you gotta love the loading screens done by veterans of their respective franchises, like the Street Fighter piece done by Shinkiro or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles loading screen by co-creator Kevin Eastman. Bringing in people that work for the source to draw these characters for this game adds another layer of authenticity to these collabs and makes them all the more memorable. Imagine if Spawn was added to Fortnite and they got Todd McFarlane to draw the loading screen. Now I want to see him jumping off the battle bus and beating the shit out of Peely. But of course, all that pales in comparison to two of the hardest images you'll ever see. Ladies and gentlemen, the hardest piece of Star Wars artwork you will ever bear witness to. Gaze Upon Sith Ascension by Dominique Mayer. God damn, I'm getting close to the dark side by looking at this thing. The insane detailed touches, the bloody red sky that bleeds into every crevice of the image, the black swirly stuff as Vader rises above his peers. Is that supposed to be the Force? Who f***ing cares, because it's cool as hell. The best part is that you can go to this guy's art station and download this piece in 4K, so have fun using this as your wallpaper. And finally, to end this segment off, let's talk about Doom Guy. I will forever be pissed that I could not complete the Chapter 4 Season 1 Battle Pass for the Doomslayer. And Geralt of Rivia, because Doomslayer might just be one of the best collabs they've ever added to the game. Goddamn predatory battle pass system. And with that, of course, he has the second hardest loading screen done by one of my favorite Fortnite artists, Kyle Hotz. The jagged edges, the Slayer's pose like he's ready to stab the Caco Demon, the endless army of Caco Demons approaching him, it perfectly represents the Doom series in one image. And I will be depressed knowing that I don't own the most badass piece to feature the Doomslayer outside the Doom games. While we're on the topic of Chapter 4 Season 1, here's a piece I found online thanks to YouTuber @TheSpaceDan on Twitter. The Ageless Champion by David Benzel is like a Sabaton song in image form. The dull, realistic grays give this piece a feeling of historical significance, like something that happened in our real world. The thundering sky that rests foreboding above the battlefield, the other Nightskins doing their best to defend their brotherhood. To me, this image reads the dude in white as this holy paladin that stands to defend his kingdom from the infidels and purifying them in techno-light magic. While I'm not sure that's accurate to his character, that's a lot more kick-ass. If Epic brings Lord of the Rings into Fortnite, they gotta hire David Benzel. He can make it work. This next image is one that I actually own and was drawn by the same artist as the Doom Guy piece. It may not be as superior as the Doom Guys, but I still think it's cool nonetheless. Kyle Hotz has quickly become one of my favorite artists that draws loading screens for Fortnite. I love the dark, inky nature of his works. It really pops and it gives off the vibe of a heavy metal album cover. Now I'm going to paraphrase Panker's no work on this one because it's a perfect descriptor for this image. You got the neon night sky that's also dark and foreboding. The dark edges that complement the colors perfectly. The almost humanoid proportions in that Sonic Adventure-ass pose, and the unreadable face that says, "I'm gonna make you my bitch." Kato Thorne, when he's in vampire form, is like a hybrid of Man-Bat and Morbius, and this artwork perfectly exemplifies that. I can already imagine Powerwolf playing just by looking at this thing, and that's kick-ass. Now I'm going to be fair in this video and include some artwork from the recent season that I think is neat. Afu Chan is an artist that makes a ton of loading screens for Fortnite, but I've grown more accustomed to his work Champion Oscar as I've played with Peter Griffin, since he has no loading screen, and that makes me depressed just thinking about it. I like how Oscar's orange fur is brightened to complement the background. I also like how Peely's just casually smiling while he's being captured. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot Peely was even part of the story because he's practically non-existent in Chapter 5 Season 1. Chapter 5 Season 2 might be one of the best seasons in Fortnite in terms of its theme. All the loading screens are some of the best in Chapter 5. They all just pop really hard with distinct styles one after the other and bright vivid colors. I could list out all of them, but for this I'm going to go with Conqueror Zeus by Patrick Gleason. You could increase testosterone by looking at this thing. Zeus himself is a mediocre skin, but he easily has the best loading screen of the season. You got his assault rifle firing into nothing with bullets flying everywhere, Zeus letting out a mighty yell as he prepares to throw a thunderbolt while the society is giving their all and taking down the king of the gods. These mortals are so full of themselves they're forgetting who they're even fighting, and that's kick-ass. You know what? F it, Patrick Gleason should draw Warhammer 40k when it comes to Fortnite eventually. The collabs get plenty of credit, but I don't think anyone really talks about the crew loading screens. I only subscribed to the crew very recently when they added Ares, but this one screen makes me wish I joined the crew earlier. This is Hunter's Moon by Matthias Vero. Oh my god. This is the best Fortnite loading screen I have ever seen. Just look at it and don't tell me it doesn't radiate Bloodborne energy. The detail on this one is just insane. The intricate swirls and the drippiness of the Inquisitor's body, the blood red moon juxtaposed against the gothic blues. That moon is so detailed I feel like I'm looking at a beating heart. The flowing tentacles and belts over a field of corn, the ominous pose, and that smirky digital face telling you that he's ready to kick kids and their moms because bro goes hard than any of us ever will. I'm surprised Epic hasn't collaborated with FromSoft yet. If they ever do a Bloodborne collab when it comes to PC, I think they know who to call. Before I close out with this video, I want to confess something to y'all. I've been telling you a fib. This image isn't actually the best Fortnite loading screen. No. That honor goes to the screen that depicts the best skin in the entire game. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the hardest piece of artwork depicting our Lord and Savior, Fabio Sparklemane. Look at that. Now this is beautiful. This is the hardest picture ever. Did Jason Raish get erased for creating this image? I hope he did because it belongs in a museum. You got the background, a rainbow that shines brightly even when it darkens to the left. Our heroic trio of Sparklemane warriors standing tall and proud as glitter sprinkles down upon them like the stars above. Nightmare Fabio especially looks like he's ready to f*** someone up. And of course they come packing with the best weapons in the entire game with them. The fact that this is even a real image speaks volumes to the majesty of the Fortnite art team. This isn't Fabio the unicorn who's addicted to his own cereal like BoJack Horseman on Relapse. This is Fabio Sparklemane. Homoerotic unicorn warrior who's here to tell you why smoking is bad, clap everyone's cheeks, all while encouraging you to buy his cereal. Absolutely spectacular. And yeah, that's really all the loading screens I wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully I give some of you more appreciation to the art you look at while waiting to gank little kids. If this video does well, maybe I'll talk about the lobby themes and which ones I think go the hardest. Hopefully we'll be back with your regularly scheduled programming after this video. Bye everybody!
Oh gang, let it bang, dope slang, making paper.